So I can just search in Google like how to use this add-ons and how to use this function. It's quite easy to find sources in internet. So why do I start with Google Tools? As I said before, I am the faculty FYP coordinator, and I've noticed that many of the processes are manual. For example, title proposal process, student registration process is manual, and assessment forms are manual. So all of these require hard copy forms that we have to fill in and then have to submit it. So there's a whole process behind it. So this form have to be submitted to this person, this form to this person. So there's many forms, paper forms going around in the faculty. And if we look at one of the process, the FYP assessment, okay, so there are 6 forms per student. So 6 assessment forms per student. And from all of these 6 forms, there are 52 mark items per form from the rubrics. So 52 marks per student. And there are 80 students per department. So per department FYP coordinator, we have to key in around 4,160 marks for each semester. Right? So the markings looks like this, where one student, we have to key in the marks manually, and this marks is numbers, and of course there's examiner's comments as well from the form, so we have to key in manually. So this process takes a long time to finish every end of semester. That's why I decided to convert the system to online assessment. So that is for student assessment. And now for student registration. So previous flow for student registration, students have to choose supervisor and title from title list or notice board. And then they will have to go and meet potential supervisor. And then they have to fill in a paper form, registration form, and supervisor have to sign the form. And then students have to go see the coordinator and submit the form, and coordinator have to key in all information. So there's many information for one student: name, matric card, IC number, year, department, and final year project title, supervisor name, supervisor's email. So there's many information for each student that coordinator have to key in. So now I have improved the flow. So students have just to go to one registration link, and they will view the titles there. So I will show you the links now. All right, so if I go to this link, so this is a registration page. So I have a announcement for students. So when is the last date for them to register, and then they have to look at the titles from the tabs. So this one is mechanical, physical engineering, electronic system engineering, and chemical and environmental engineering. So these are the titles. So they just have to scroll through and look at name of lecturer and titles that the lecturer proposed. And then when they have decided on which title they want to do, they have to go to this page again, and they have to look at maximum number of students that supervisor is allowed to have. All right, so now and then they have to go, maybe they want Prof. Koji Iwamoto to be their supervisor. So they have to look at the current number of students registered to this lecturer. So right now he have 5 students under his name. So this is maximum for the chemical and environmental engineering. So it means that the student have to choose other lecturer. Okay, for example, Prof. Ezat. So now he only have 2 students. So students will have a chance to be his student. So just look at the titles again, and Prof. Ezat only proposed 2 titles, so he have to look at a different lecturer. All right, maybe Dr. Roshafima 3. And students can contact the lecturer straight away using the phone number. And if the supervisor agree to take them as the student, so they can register here in this. So student will have to go to this link and register. Right. So let me test this form for you straight away. So my email is just not UTM email. So maybe my name is Uswa. Department mechanical. So I can choose my lecturer. So for example, myself, because I want to show you how the approval process is done. And then next, I will put my supervisor's email address. And this is Koza. Okay. Right, so when I submit this form, what happened is that the number of students for me, so before this I have 3 students, now it has increased to 4. And if I look in my email, okay, so the supervisor received an email like this, so approval required. So I have to approve the student. So I have to go here, approve or reject, but I can see the form that he has filled. So now I can see the student details, the project title that he proposed, and now I have to sign this form, but I don't sign it manually here. I just go to this approve or reject. And I just can put comment okay, approve or reject. I can edit my signature and approve the student. Right. So from the coordinator point of view, I can look at the application responses. Okay, at the bottom, this is the new application. So it's approved. Okay, if I have not approved the application, it will be pending. So I'm going to show you how to create this process using Form Publisher. Right. So this is the process. You can go to the slides again after this. Right. So why do I use Form Publisher? Okay, so Form Publisher, it can generate forms automatically. So the final form is a signed form. So for audit, we need the signed form for audit actually, for EAAC audit, that all students are registered according to the SOP, and we need the signed form for audit purpose. So if you don't use it for many form submission, then you can just use a basic account, which is 20 form per submission, 20 form submission per month. So it's free. And when I started using Form Publisher, I actually bought this one for 300 plus ringgit. And this one is unlimited, but this one is for my account only. However, I have created a proposal for faculty to buy this app, and actually anyone with utm.kl, sorry, at utm.my email can actually use Form Publisher for free. Right, so you can try using this apps straight away. Right. So what I like about the Form Publisher app is that it has a whole support website here where you can look at examples of workflow that you want to create, and it has all the tutorials and all the syntax required, okay, for the process. Right. So the process that I'm using for the title registration is actually this one. So I go to this um, address, and I use this workflow. So the student submits a form, and then from publisher, sorry, I have to mute on. Please mute your microphone. Okay. So even though I'm using this workflow, but I want to remove this part of the process. Okay. So I'm just using this workflow, not the right hand part. So now let's try this together. So you can try on your laptop, right? So what I want you to do first is to prepare a form and a Google form. So both forms. So one is the template and one is Google form. So let's do this together. Just create a folder in your Google Drive. So you can do it Google Workshop. Let's do this together. All right, so that's our folder. Now I want you to create a Google document. And the Google document is titled, "This is our," and you can add anything on this form. For example, you can add pictures. So image from web, UTM logo, right? So there is our UTM logo, and we can have header as well. So for example, from A1, right? And what particulars that we want to insert inside this form. So first is name and email and address and metric number, IC number, what else? Telephone number, mobile number. Okay, let's do this together. You can do in your laptop. And then project title. Supervisor's name, supervisor's, oops, what's that? Supervisor's email. So you want your supervisor to approve this this form. I approve for this student to be my supervisor. Sign. You can add like this, a place where the supervisor have to sign, and so supervisor's name, date of sign. right? So this is our form. Okay, now go to your folder. If you refresh the folder, you can see the form, right? This is in Google Doc. Now I want you to create a Google form. So this is our online form. Right? Please fill in this form. So let's start adding question. So we want to have the exact same question that we have in our form here. Right? So what I like to do is do side by side. Okay. Now we have the first one is name. And then we add another one, email address. Okay, it will suggest you to get enable email collection setting, but I will not turn this on because we want to create a workflow. That one is address. Fourth one, metric number. Address, maybe we don't make it compulsory. The fifth one is IC number. Mobile number. Project title. Supervisor's name. Supervisor's email. Right, that's it. Our form. So let's just delete this. Okay, this is the form that we want students to fill in. All right. Okay, now what do we have to do next? So I have prepared a step-by-step instructions here. Okay, we already have prepared our form and as well as Google form. Now, second step is that we have to add markers. So markers is the info that we want to extract from our Google form. So any markers, you have to have this symbol here, like the left and like less than and more than symbol, right? So you can add two markers. The first one is matching markers and the other one is standard form publisher markers, right? So let's add our matching markers first. So the way to add the markers is like this. So you just put this and this, okay, and just copy the question text. So it has to be exactly the same as the question text. So for example, name, you just copy and paste it here. And then for email as well, we have to copy everything, email address. Right, just like that. Then for address, copy, paste. For metric number, it's very sensitive. So if you add one dot here, metric number dot, then you have to add one dot over here as well, right? Then IC number. Okay, let's change the question to identification card number. So you have to copy all of this to here, right? And then mobile number. or maybe we can put handphone. And project title. And then supervisor's name. Supervisor's email. All right, that's it. Oh, we have supervisor's name over here again, so we just repeat this. And for the date, we want the date when the supervisor signed this document. So we have to add a standard form publisher marker. All right, so the form publisher marker is like this. So it has time markers, timestamp, or today, or now. And it also have a different marker, email address, what else? Workflow approval, workflow date. So I want to choose this workflow date, all right? So just add it into our document here. Workflow date. And what else I want to add in this form? I want a workflow increment. Okay, so this is a increment. So how many files have been generated? So you want to keep track of how many files are generated. So you want to add this increment. So just add this form number increment. Right. So that is our form. Okay. Third step, you have to install Form Publisher. Right. So now just close this one. Okay. Now in your Google form, go to your Google form, and you have to install add-on here. Go to add-ons and install Form Publisher. So in my account is already installed. So if you have several Google accounts, you have to install Form Publisher every time you are using a different account, right? And you have to install only once in that particular account, right? So mine is already installed. So go install your Form Publisher now. Okay, so if you go here, add-on, I already have. After you install, you can see this jigsaw puzzle shape. So you can just press on that jigsaw and you have your add-on installed already. Right, so I will open my Form Publisher. Why it's not opening? To reopen this. Okay, it should open like this. So if you don't see get started, it means that you have to close the form and reopen the form. Okay, now get started. Right. Okay, this one, if you don't have a pre-formatted form, just like we did for this one, okay, this is our form. Okay, we already have our own template. So we don't need to use a form publisher template. So what you have to do is to go to this button, select template. So I have to choose the document that we already created. So choose this one, select. Right. Okay, now if you notice from the form, we have many matching markers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, 9 matching markers and 2 standard markers. You can see the list of your markers here. So 2 standard markers is the one that we chose, increment and workflow date, and 9 matching markers here. All of these are the same text as the question in your form, right? Okay, so we don't have any markers left. If you don't see your markers, you just refresh. Okay. For example, if I add, suddenly I add something. Right. Form name, for example. So these are markers. So if I refresh, it will say that one question is not found for these markers, form name, right? So I have to create the question in this Google form in order to solve this issue. But I don't want this, so what I do is just delete this and refresh again, right? Okay, next. Okay, so this one is a folder that will be created in your folder, right? In your Google Workshop folder. Okay, this is another folder will be created inside. You can change the folder if you want. And this will be the generated files title. So what we have here is template title, which is, this is our form. This title, yeah, this is our form. This is our template title. And then increment number, and you can add one more. I like to add name, so it's easier to search. So I just add the marker that we want to add. All right. Or you can go here as well, standard markers. And I want you to choose keep increment. And if you want to have a file URL in your response sheet, do this as well. And I want you to keep PDF copy in Drive. Okay, so we will have PDF file here. And if you go next, right. Okay, now I am the creator of this form, so I have my name in the sharing list. But I don't like because this form will be shared online, so I don't want for each form generated will be sent to me, so I want to remove my name. Okay, now I want to add a recipient, and because this is a workflow where someone will approve this form, so the approver is actually the supervisor. So we need to add supervisor's email. So just use this. Okay, just copy this and go to the recipient, add a marker. Right? Supervisor's email. So you want to send PDF to them. And you do tick in approval workflow. And you want to personalize email notification for them. Okay, now there's three notifications. The first one is notification type. So because I am creating this form, I can do this. Swap the host. Right, this he will receive an email with this sender's name. So email subject, please approve this form. Sorry. I should have another one. Wait a minute. Yeah, I should have the send PDF. All right. So let me try that again. Oh, because I have not added this. Okay. After you choose this, you have to press add. Okay, now supervisor will receive PDF. Now I can personalize the email. Okay, the first one is from me, the host. So I will send the PDF to him, not me, the form publisher will send PDF to him automatically. So form publisher, please approve this file, okay, by which student. So that is our marker. Okay, a file has been generated from the form, okay, with form publisher. Please approve or reject. Reject using the button below. Okay. And then if the supervisor approves the form, you want him to receive this email. So the email, you have approved the form. Thank you. Approved. Right. And then if I reject it, same. You have rejected the form. You can put anything. Okay, you have rejected the student. May I know why? Okay, something like that. Okay, okay, save and close. And now go to next. All right, now your form is ready. You can try this form. So try this form. Okay, let's try again. My name is Uswa. Okay, the email address. This is student's email, so it's not important, only for your record. And then the address is metric number, identification number, handphone number, project title, supervisor's name, and then supervisor's email. So this one, you have to put a correct email address. So submit this form. Okay, this form has been recorded. Okay, now the responses already record one response. And you want to see the response here in an Excel sheet. Okay, let's go to that response sheet. Okay. So if you go to your folder, your Google folder, you just refresh. And you can see your response Excel. So if you open that, you will see the first response. Yeah. And you can see supervisor's email. Right, but form approved. It has no workflow yet. Okay. If I go to my email, I will receive this email. Okay, please approve this our form. Okay, by Uswa. Right, so I have to approve or reject the form. Okay, now before to make sure it's already linked. Definitely, I have to see this, but it's okay. I will just approve or reject first. Maybe you have to wait for a few minutes for the form publisher settings to appear. I did not add signatures, so I want to add signature first. So what I have to do is go to the template and I want a signature here. Workflow signature. Right. Okay. Workflow signature and go back to my form. And because you have used form publisher for this form, so it will come something like this. So you just go to the template again. And you have a new standard marker, which is the workflow signature added, okay, to your template. Okay. Now I want to regenerate the file because I want to add the signature. So file for today. So generate. Let's see. Yeah, receive. It will take a few minutes for all the forms to appear. Okay. Alright. Okay, now if you go to your responses, you can see that it's ready now, form publisher status. So you have your URL for the document and you have increment number. So because I regenerate the form, so now the number is 2. And the approval is still pending because I have not approved the form. And this is for PDF. So it has both document and PDF. Okay. So if I approve this form, approve or reject. Okay, I can change my signature and I can put comment. Okay, right? So now the status will be changed from pending to approved. Okay, it will take a few minutes as well. So let's just refresh. Okay, now the status have been changed to approved. Okay, and when it's approved, okay, you have approved the form. Okay, you will receive a form like email like this, and you can see your approved form. So if you open this file, you can see that your signature is there in the file. Okay. Okay, and me as a host will have this folder here where all the forms are gathered in this folder. So I can see the generated signed form here in the same one. Okay, so this is it using form publisher. And you can go to the address I have provided here, okay, to use other workflows. Okay, this one is just one of the workflow, one example only. Okay, now the instructions are very detailed in this PowerPoint, so you can use it. Okay, now remember in my system, I have the number of lecturer updated automatically. So this is just using a very simple coding for Excel. So it's the same. So Google Sheet and Excel codings are the same. So you can try and error. So if you press one of the box here, you can see this code here. So what I did is I use a count if function. So it will count, for example, this professor's name, Prof. Z, and it will count how many times Prof. Z's name appear in the registration form. All right, so for example, only two students registered under his name, so the code will count how many times Prof. Izzat's name appeared, and it will appear here on the right. Right, so two students registered, so number two will appear here. And if more students add to his name, then this number will increase, right? And as a host, I can delete the response, so the number can decrease as well. For example, my name is I have 4 students now because I already add another response just before this. So I can just delete that response. Right, so I can just delete this, and now my name only have 3 students. Okay, that is how this number here is automatically updated. Right, so that is it for form publisher and form. So now I want to show you how to design form with rubrics. All right, this is for Fyp assessment. Okay, for final year project, we have 6 forms looking like this. All right, very similar to this. So in our form, we have rubrics. For example, rubrics for peer assessment. So for peer assessment, the first item assessed is the participation. So whether students actively participate or not, and then whether he occasionally participate or not. So different points for different level of participation. So this is called rubrics. And if you want to create this form in Google Form, it is quite impossible because Google Form does not support tables, right? But of course, you can go around it. And what I did is I prepared rubrics in Excel, and I screenshot and save the rubric as pictures, because you can add pictures in Google Form questions. Okay, so now let's do the exercise. So I want you to go to this address. All right, so this is the address. You can download everything from this address. Okay, and go to our folder just now. Okay, this is our folder. We will try everything in the folder. Okay, please download everything from the address first. All right. Do you have any problem accessing the forms? Accessing the needs? Okay, now what you have here is a template database, the slide, okay, the slide that I'm presenting for you today, and all step-by-step instructions, and 2 figures. So when you already have downloaded here everything, I want you to go to your folder. This participant created here, but it's better to go to your own drive. Okay, go back to your folder, and I want you to build a Google form for assessment. Okay, this one is very interesting because this is how we manage the responses differently. Okay, so I will create my form here. Right, so this is from to assessment, okay, form assessment 1. Okay, this is our first form. So in the form, I want you to put students' information first. So name, and then metric number, and then what else is important? Department. Department, whether is we can use drop down, whether it's MPE or ESE or CHEE. And then their supervisor's name, and project title. Project title. And one more you can add is examiner's name, because examiner is normally different than supervisor, so examiner's name. Okay. All right. This is our form. Okay. Next step. Is the rubrics. Okay, now we want to add rubrics, so I like to put rubrics in the next section so it will not feel too crowded. So this is assessment 1. So assessment 1, okay, please choose appropriate marks. Okay. Now we want to add question. 1, introduction. So we add figure here. The figure is from the one that you downloaded just now, right? So the figures. Okay, just download one figure, figure 1. Right, so there is my rubric there. And instead of multiple choice, you choose linear scale. So the marks can be from 0 to 5. Okay, because the marking here is the first rubric is 0 to 1, and then 2 to 3, 4 to 5. Now I choose 0 to 5. Okay, next one, next question. Even intro second, maybe method. Okay, so we choose another picture that I gave to you just now. And of course, it's linear scale, so point is 0 to 5. So required. Okay, that's it for our form. Now responses, we choose a destination. Okay, create a new spreadsheet. Okay, create that. Okay, now we have 2 forms. So what I want you to do is to duplicate this form because we don't want to waste any time making more forms. So refresh your folder, and your form assessment 1, just right click and make a copy, so it's a duplicate. Okay, now let's rename this. Sorry, where's the rename to form assessment 2. Okay, and you open form assessment 2, Let's make it different color so we can distinguish between our forms. Yellow. All right. So for form assessment 2, the questions are exactly the same as form assessment 1, but for the assessment part, the rubrics, I want you to change just the title. So it's number 1, instead of intro, maybe we can do result. And second question is conclusion. Right. So that is our form number 2. And for responses, it's best if you combine responses in just one spreadsheet. So you just go here, select response destination, and select existing spreadsheet, and choose the previous spreadsheet that we have. Okay, select. Okay, now if you go to your folder, okay, let's what do we want to do now is go to your folder, open the assessment form, the responses. Okay, now you already have form responses 1 and form responses 2. Okay, so you can just bring it to the right so it will not be confusing. So form responses 1, form responses 2. Okay, let's try both of our form. Oh no, don't try first. I want you to make a main database. So what you have to do is go to new Google Sheet. This is student database. Okay. So I want you to go to the folder that I've shared with you guys. Okay, go to the template or you have downloaded it. Now what I want you to do is to copy everything. Copy everything and put it in your new spreadsheet for student database. All right. So that is our student database. We just make it a bit more presentable. Right. Okay. I hope everybody is here now. Okay. Now, if you notice that in this database, we have a student's name, metric number, department, supervisor's name, project title, examiner 1, examiner 2. So we want each examiner to access different forms. So for example, examiner 1 will access form 1 and examiner 2 will access form number 2, right? So the students metric number, name and titles are different. Okay. So you have finished that. Okay. Now I want you to learn about pre-filled Google form. So how do we create a pre-filled Google form? Okay. So if you go back to your form assessment 1, okay, I want the system to be able to pre-fill all this form with student particulars. Okay, because if you are an examiner, I don't want you to have to look at the student's name and then type in the info and then look at the title and then have to type in the info again. So examiners doesn't like that. They just want to put marks, right? So how do we make the examiner's life easy? Here we go here. Okay. Go at the option and choose this get pre-filled link. Okay. So this is a pre-filled link, but I don't want you to write any student's particulars. You just write name. For example, you just write something. For example, student's name and metric number, student metric number, And for department, just choose one. Supervisor's name, the supervisor's name, project title, and examiner's name. Okay. For points, you don't have to choose anything because we don't want to pre-fill the points. The examiners will do that. Okay, choose this. Okay, get link. Press get link. Okay, you copy this link. Okay, copy link and go back to your student database. Okay, now you want to pre-fill all the particulars in the form. So what you have to do is go to this cell and type hyperlink. So you need URL and link label. Okay, so now your URL is the pre-fill link. Just paste that. And then your label is maybe form 1. Right. So it's a link now. Right. So if you go to here, you can see that this is the link. And if you press this form, this link, it will go to the form pre-filled with this particular. So I want you to close this form and go back to your database and find the particulars that you have typed before. So for example, first name, student's name. Here you want to change it with this student's name, Ahmad. Okay, but you want to change for every row. So the best way is to get the address for this cell. So you have to use this. Okay, so the words you change it to open parenthesis and cell number and close parenthesis. So those things. Okay. The easiest way is you go here and just highlight the student's name only, and you do open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So the first cell is this cell, so B2. And then go to the next one, student metric. So open parenthesis and close parenthesis and get this metric number. Third one is the department, MPE. So open parenthesis, close parenthesis, that one, and here, this name. And the fourth one is supervisor's name. So open parenthesis, close parenthesis, supervisor's name, and project title, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and choose this, and examiner's name. So this one is examiner 1. Okay. So you just drag down this cell. So if you go to this link, it will pre-fill with this particular. So name, Ahmad, metric number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, MPE, Dr. A, project title is ultrasonic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you go to this form and try. So now you can see that your form is pre-filled with the student's particular. Okay, so you don't have to change. As examiner, you don't have to change anything here. You just go to the next section and just fill in the points, the marks for the student, and just submit. Okay, that is one example. Now let's test other students' name. Okay, go to maybe Dia. Dia, supervisor is associate prof B, project title is environmental noise, blah blah. Okay, let's try that. Okay, now it's pre-filled with Dia's particulars. Okay, environmental noise. Okay, next, the examiner just have to fill in the points and submit. Okay, our form 1 is ready. Okay, now we want to do the same thing for our form 2. So go to form assessment 2. Okay, go to form assessment 2 and do the same. Get a pre-filled link. Go here and go here. So student's name, metric number, department, supervisor's name, project title, examiner's name. Okay, the marks, just leave it blank. And then get link. Okay. Copy the link and bring it to your database. Okay, your database. Now, go to the first link, just like before, and type equal hyperlink. You do the easiest way is you just do open parenthesis, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. So the word that you want in that link is form 2, and your hyperlink is just the previous one, the previous copied URL. So just paste, okay, and enter. Okay, now you want to do that for the student particulars. So you select whatever pre-filled word that you have done, do open parenthesis and close parenthesis, choose the first link, the first cell, and then metric number, do the same, and department, and supervisor's name, and project title, and examiner's name. Examiner 2, because this one is form 2, it should be filled by Professor A in by examiner 2. Just press that and enter. Now just drag down, just choose this cell and drag it down. Right, now every form is reference to the row. Okay. Okay, now let's do several examples. Okay, maybe 6 row for Alia, so the department is ESE. Go to this link. Now, particulars already filled is Alia. Okay, metric number, she is from ESE. Project title. So the examiner just have to choose marks for Alia. Okay, let's choose another one. Maybe Hannah or Kayla. Okay, Kayla is from CP. Oh, C. I should choose maybe Alicia. Okay, Alicia. Okay. Submit. All right, that's it for form 2. Okay, now what I did normally is I share this database spreadsheet with examiner. Okay, so I copy the link, I restricted all the cells here, so what they can do is just press the URL. Okay, but it is quite hard to track which examiner have filled the form and which examiner have not filled the form. So what I want to do is to make another row here, the status form. So I want to know whether form 1 has been submitted or not. Okay, how to do that? Okay, go to your responses. So now you can see that you have 2 responses from both form 1 and form 2. What I like to do is add another sheet. So this sheet, I'll just bring it to the front and rename it as main sheet. Okay. And go back to your student database spreadsheet and copy this. Copy only information that you like. Maybe just until the supervisor. Okay, supervisor. Okay, copy and paste it in your response spreadsheet in the main tab. All right. So that is your student particulars. And you want to get the status for form 1 and status for form 2. Okay. So you want to know whether form 1 is obtained or not. Oh, but it's better if you do this one first. Okay, now for form responses 1, you have 2 marks, one for intro, one for method. So just copy this in the main form. Okay, that one is form 1. So this is status for form 1. And for form 2, you have result and conclusion. So go to the main. Okay. Now you want to gather the marks from the students according to this arrangement. So what you can do is go here. You use this VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP format for Excel. So the VLOOKUP works like this. So in your main folder, it will look up for the cell with student's name. So B3 is the first student name. And then it will look at the second sheet, which is form 1 sheet, and it will look at the range of the information in this form and the location, which column in that range, right? So just go here, let's paste. Okay. So I want to look up V3, V2, okay, from form responses 1 and from V2 to H1. So let's see. Okay, let's see the number. So this is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So if you go to marks in intro, so this one is column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's column number 7. And for method is for column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So go to main. This one is column 7. And do the same for method. But this one is column 8. Our range. Because this one is I, not H. So we just change this to I. Right? So that is our marks for for Ahmad. Okay. So if you copy this to here for result and conclusion, but you just change it to responses 2, form response 2. And this one is for form response 2 as well. Okay, now what you get is NA, so it's like error, not available. And This is because in form response 2, we don't have any response for Ahmad. We only have Alia and Alicia. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is go this way, just highlight and bring it down. Okay. Now let's check. For form response 1, we have response for Ahmad and Dia. So Ahmad have response, Dia have response. And for form response 2, we only have from Alia and Alicia. So Alia and Alicia, right? Now I want to get the status for this form. Right? So we use this. If it is not available, then we put X character. If it is available, if there's a number, we put a tick, right character. So we just use this. P. Okay, cell number is cell number this. All right. Oops. Oh, dia tak ikut. Sekejap eh. All right. That one is for status form 1. And for form 2, we do the same as well. So cell number we change to okay. Now, when the result is available, it will have a tick mark. When result is not available, it will have X. So we want to have this in our main database for examiner to see. Okay, for in our main spreadsheet. So we want the same status here, the same as this one. So what I do is I just want to extract. So it will import range from one sheet to another sheet. So what I can do is just copy this and put it in our main database. Right. So Google Sheet URL. So Google Sheet URL, just go here to your form assessment and copy this URL. And then for a tab name, you just change it to form to main, okay? Because we want this form main. And range is from H2 to H26. H2 to H26. H2 to H26. The error. It has error now. H2. Do this again. import range. So this one should be this URL. So we have to put open and close. And then main and page 2 to page 26. Right. Okay, now I get this reference, so I have to press allow access. Okay, now it's there. Okay, now I want to do the same for status form 2. So just put import range. Okay, so the URL is it already, comma, range is main, and the range is K2 to K26. Okay, because I have allowed access once before, so I don't need to allow access once more. Okay. All right. Okay, now that is our status. But this one is not as clear because the color is the same, so I want to change the color. Okay, so I just select this row, select this column, go to format, conditional formatting. So if the cell have a text contains the character, so the character 10004 is the tick, so we change it to green. All right, and we want to add another rule. If the text contain 10008, it will be red. Done. Done. So that one is status form 1, and status form 2 we do the same, format, conditional formatting. If the format contains equals to 4, it will be green, and we add another rule. If it contains X, change it to red. That's it. Right, now we have our status for both forms. Okay, we can try the form now. Okay, for example, let's choose Hannah, form 1. Okay, let's fill in for Hannah. So the particulars are already filled. And next, just choose points for Hannah. Okay. So if you go back to our database, Hannah is now green, all right, already filled. Okay, and best thing about this is that other people cannot see what points Hannah obtained. All right, only coordinator can see from the from the responses sheet. So Hannah, she obtained 5 and 3 marks for form 1. Okay, and we can try for form 2 as well. Maybe Lucas. Lucas, go to Lucas. Okay. Particulars already filled, and we just choose this. Now we look at our database. Okay, Lucas have changed from red to green for form 2. Right? It means that our system is now working well. We have managed the responses well. All right, that's it from me actually. Do you have any questions? You can actually look at the slides because I have prepared a complete guide for all the process that I've shown you. Okay, so you can try this at your own time. Any question from you guys?